Mystery of Blackbeard's Cove I conceived in the 10th grade. I had a history teacher who introduced me to Blackbeard the pirate. And he was a teacher that had frequented Ocracoke Island, North Carolina when he was a kid, when at the time it still is, just a sand hill. That's all. It's not an island. It's just a sand hill. And when I was writing, I went back to him in 1977, and I said, I can't get this man out of my head. I want to write about this pirate. I want to write about Blackbeard. And just from what he had talked about in the 10th grade, because he said that everything that's ever been written about the man is wrong. And I said, I don't want to read anything. I want to write a book that's never been written. He said, well, then you're going to have to go to Ocracoke Island, North Carolina, because many of the descendants of the pirates who sailed with Blackbeard lived there. They still live there, especially the Howard family. William Howard was Blackbeard's quartermaster, and William Howard went back and bought the island, and the Howard family still lived there. And so a girlfriend of mine, her 5-year-old, and myself and my 4-year-old, and my rickety Volvo, we packed our bags and we went to Ocracoke Island, North Carolina, not having any idea what we were getting into. And it was one sand dune after another, and we went down and we stayed at Blackbeard's Lodge, which was the only place you could stay. And I was taking notes. I had my old cassette player, and I was taking hand notes because there were no such thing as computers. And the manager came down and he said, what are you taking all those notes, Miss Penn? And I said I was going to write a book about the descendants of the pirates who sailed with Blackbeard, because I wanted to learn the truth about this man, Edward Teach. He said, Miss Penn, pack your bags and go home. And I said, why? He said, because we don't like strangers, we don't like questions, and we don't like strangers who ask questions. And I learned 3 things the entire week we were there. They didn't like strangers. They didn't like questions. They didn't like strangers who asked questions. They were very polite. They were very lovely. And anything you wanted to know about Blackbeard the pirate that everybody else knew that came as a tourist, then nobody came as a tourist. They were very happy to tell you, but absolutely nothing else. Well, I fell in love with the place, and my girlfriend did not. And I kept coming back, and I remarried, and my husband and then our next 2 children were just about born on that island, and we have spent probably 3-4 times a year ever since there, and actually spend more time in the home than the owners, and waiting to own the home there, and this particular home, and have amazingly close friends, and have finally earned the status of friend, which is a very close status if you understand Islanders. But from 1977 to 1990, didn't get any further. Even though the friendships got that close, we still were never privy to any of the really close information. But I was going to hang with it. I was going to hang with it till I was 90 years old. Well, in October of 1990, there was quite a disaster happening on Ocracoke Island, and the bells rang and they needed assistance. And I happened to be there and with my big Chevy truck, and even though I'm disabled and I had 2 crutches, I still had a big truck, and I showed up and I said, what can I do? And I helped out for 3 solid days, and as anybody else would that was close friends there and they needed help. And so then I was packing to leave, and I heard, Miss Audrey in Miller wants to see you. And so I left, and she at the time was the eldest person on the island. I went to see her, and I went up to her pizer, which is kind of an outdoor screened-in porch on a trailer. But I went in, and she locked me in, and the story is kind of long, but she sold me 2 hand-carved ducks, because I had $6, and that bought me 2 hand-carved ducks. And then she said to me, I suppose you want to know about the ticket.